Woo! Ride all day, ride all night. Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. If it's around 9 o'clock, you know it's time for Lovebabz, Lovetalk. I am Babz Rawls. I have the good pleasure this morning of having Azaria Samuels back in the house.
Yes.
She's marketing over there at Long Wharf Theater, which is no longer Lily White Theater.
Yes. Good
Long
morning.
Wharf Theater is back to its roots, baby.
It's amazing. It feels so good out here. You know, we are trying. And I will
for
say,
somebody who ain't from here that comes here and feels like, and you feel the inclusion,
yes,
and you feel the direction shifting, that's a big plus.
oh yes, you feel it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day there's a change, and so we feel it, we hear it, and we're seeing it.
Good.
And I hope the community do too.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. So yesterday evening was the launch of the new season.
Yes.
Now Jacob Perdone is here. He showed up last year.
Yes.
Inherited a season, got to add a few things.
Yes.
But this season is, his brainchild.
Yes, this is his inaugural season.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited. I mean, the shows alone are incredible. This season, we had some great shows. What Jacob did on stage, what he put for our stage is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot wait to see for next season.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
I told people when I was up there on the stairs talking, I was like, listen, if you thought this season was a ride, baby, buckle up. Because this next season, the level of inclusivity is amazing.
I mean, and down to our partners. I mean, everyone is just inclusive. You feel it. You feel it in the community. And I can't wait. I will say we have some great performances coming up.
Yes.
There's a lot of cool people in the building. There's some amazing actors that we have. We're so blessed to have them. And our board, I can't say it enough. We have to thank you all. It's just so much amazingness in that building, in the area, and we're just thankful.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is what I know about arts, because now, I've spent my professional career doing direct services and of service, and now I'm in this space now where I am fully starting to step in and understand that arts is really the revolution that we need. Like,
Yes.
artists lead the revolution. They give voice and structure to whatever is going on.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
I see it.
It's important to produce what's going on in your community. It's important to reflect. It's important to share stories. You can't be balled up.
Right.
You can't. you can't.
And when people across cultures, across town, across ethnicities sit together in a theater and watch something that they didn't think that they would understand or identify with,
Yes.
and walk out of a theater saying, I understand shared destiny.
Yes.
Because there was a couple of times people walked out of the theater when I went, they may not have dug what they saw, but they were definitely affected by it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
learned something. And was like, not only was I entertained, but I was like, I think I got a lesson.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the arts, that is theater. So it's so good, and I'm excited. I Am My Own Wife just finished. It was amazing. It was a great run.
I saw a lot of good stuff last year. Like, the last couple of years I've seen a lot of good stuff, but baby, I Am My Own Wife blew me away.
I mean, Mason was amazing. They showed up on that stage. and 35 characters. So over 35 characters for one person is a lot, you know. And I mean, day after day after day, just kept the creativity, kept that. And I will say that there were so many people moved. So many people did not know what they were walking into.
Yeah.
And so that was another thing.
Yeah.
You know, that show was amazing. I would say folks left and they learned something. You know, they thought they were coming in and just hearing about a transgender woman, you know, but it was more than that.
I don't even know what people thought. I don't even know. I was like, I kept waiting for the transgender. I was like, wait. Well, okay.
Yes.
This is a story. But you know what? You're getting, you know, people think that folks weren't struggling in those days with their own identity and being accepted and living their own best lives. I mean, people have been trying to do that since the beginning of time.
Yes.
And history, we just haven't been told those stories.
Exactly.
Like when we saw when I came and I saw the first play, the very first play, when he came.
Oh yes, you're talking about On the Ground.
Yeah,
of belonging.
You know what?
Yes,
that was so far out of my reality because I'm not gay. I don't know. Listen, and at that time frame, I wasn't even born in that time frame.
Yep, me either.
To sort of see that level of struggle,
yes,
up in your face, like on the heels of civil rights and all the other stuff. That there's these other stories that were hidden.
Yes.
I just was, you know, I left the theater feeling like, oh my God.
And they put it in your face.
So much I did not know.
Yes. And I love that we put it in each other's face. We put it out there. And so many people left there saying, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that was going on right across the street.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's so important for us to tell these stories on the stage.
Yeah.
You know, like you just said, you didn't know about that going back in that time, but we're able to tell that story.
We tell that story, and
I'm excited. You know,
and you know when you tell those kinds of stories, the people that live those stories, I think, are liberated.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like their living wasn't in vain.
Yes.
Like listen,
it's going on today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so and right now we're in a community that is, you know, pro LGBT. You know, we're for each other. And I would say it's a lot going on that people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are just not educated, you know. And so coming to the theater, you're able to get educated. You get to learn something. And I would say a lot of people left feeling awe. They felt like they belong. And that's something that we stand on.
Yeah.
We feel like everyone here belongs.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time where folks felt like they did not belong at the Longworth Theater.
Oh, listen.
You know.
Listen, when you listen, those first two brunches, do you know how many black women in those brunches had never been in that theater until you invited them for the brunch?
Yes.
I was stunned by that, how many people. I thought everybody was like me, just show up to everything regardless of whether you're welcome or invited or not.
No, and I'm so thankful. I'm serious. I moved here, didn't know a soul. And I would say the community, the love that I feel, you know, and I hope that everyone feels the same in this space, you know.
I always thought the arts piece was the missing piece to making New Haven its very best self. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the arts has always been sort of almost a little elitist, seriously white, and black artists were sort of like on the margins and on the fringes. But I think that's
not anymore.
I think it's changing. I really see the change. I really see,
and it's genuine.
It's not enough to welcome people. It's just not enough. You have to invite people.
Yes.
Because when you extend an invitation, that lets people know that they are welcome.
Yes. And I will say that, you know, the Strength Within Me brunch, you know, the mission, the vision behind it is for us to come together and to speak on that strength that we have, you know, within us. Sometimes it's not always easy, you know, and sometimes we break down, but we have to keep going. You know, and in the arts, we're able to tell our stories. We're able to come together and be ourselves, be free, dance, laugh. And so that's what that brunch is, you know, and I put together a panel so that we can come together and just reflect different ages, all different women, you know, from all over, and that we all have different backgrounds, you know, and that's important. We're not the same.
It's really nice to sort of sit with other women who I know a lot of people, but to sit with other women that I don't see often.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And just be in communion. And it was just but it wasn't ridiculous heavy, like you walked out of it feeling like, oh my God, what did I just experience?
Yes.
But it was really sort of like,
well, that's good.
it was sort of like a family reunion kind of vibe.
Yes.
You know, it was like, yeah, we get together, we hang out, and we talked, the food was good. So, I mean, I was just struck by how many people never been in that theater.
Yes, there was over.
And that speaks to not being invited.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know,
yes.
like believing that the Longwood Theater is for those people, and I'm not part of those people.
Yes.
You know, well, baby, we're here to tell you, you those people now.
Yes, and I'm super thankful. You know, Long Wharf is making space for the community. We have our doors open. You know, we are looking for, different partners. We're looking to expand our doors. You know, each other we all have something to say. You know, we all have something beautiful here. I said it before. You know, New Haven is a hidden gem. I say it.
It is.
You know, and so let's pop out.
Listen, I tell you what moved me. The second thing that moved me, one was the excitement of everybody in that room. Second, that this season will be directed by women.
Yes.
Like, that's a conscious, deliberate thing.
Jacob Padron, I tell you now,
like,
he just keeps amazing us.
And listen, Jacob is a guy. He's a man.
Yes.
And I know he knows a gazillion men directors.
Yes.
But if you do not invite different people to come to this table, you're not going to have a diverse table.
Yes. And speaking of diverse table, so it's all women directors next season.
Which I'm that alone. Listen, if they produced Sesame Street, if they just had us writing chalk on the floor, I'm coming, because
listen, we're expanding
I'm excited.
doors. And all women, people of color, you know.
Yes.
And that's a door open.
Yes.
That I'm so thankful for that, because there's so long. How long has theater been around?
Oh Lord.
Okay, and so it's been so long in the theater, in the regional theater industry, you know, where there's not too many people of color given a chance to actually direct and produce what we're about to produce. So I'm super excited and thankful. You know, the lineup of shows next season is amazing.
All right, the first one is because I got the whole lineup right here. First performance October 14th.
Yes,
which is my late mother's birthday, which is on its own merits quite prophetic. So the first performance is the world premiere of Toretta, right?
Another world premiere
by Monet Hurst Mendoza, directed by Tatiana Pandiani, in partnership with the Soul Project, on Stage 2.
On Stage 2.
Which I don't, do you all use Stage 2 that much?
So this season we have one show in Stage 2, which is actually coming up, The Chinese Lady.
Okay.
And so
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, me too.
Because I don't know anything about this story.
The set, I keep talking about sets here because we do everything in-house, but I will say this set, our scene, our props, they're doing an amazing job. It's phenomenal. But The Chinese Lady, it runs from March 18th through April 12th. And so we're super excited. Tickets are on sale. Seats are available. It's in Stage 2. But next season, our shows in Stage 2 will have new seats. So that's another exciting thing.
I hope they seats for women of
with a cushion.
Women of girth and substance.
Yes. Listen, we have new seats coming in this next season in Stage 2. See, Stage 2 is our black box.
Yes.
It's more intimate.
Yes. And, you know, I love that I'm learning the theater language, black box. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what?
Super intimate. You feel like you're on that stage. You feel like you're with the actors there. And that's how it should feel. So we're super excited to have our shows being produced in that stage there, because we don't usually use that space, and we have it. So now we have the opportunity to produce some amazing shows in Stage 2, but we're ending our season with a musical in our main stage, the Claire Tao. And so we're super excited, and I keep going through the list.
I am. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Toretta, which is bullfighting. It's about bullfighting, and it's about a woman stepping into that space, because bullfighting has been traditionally a male-dominated sport. But Elena Ramirez, it's her life's ambition. She is the character. And so with the help of her best friend, a matador son, she becomes secretly training to compete with the greatest.
Yes.
I love these kinds of stories. Put me in the mind of Mulan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like these women who are like, I'm going to get in here some kind of way.
And
if I got to like dress up like a boy, I'm going to do it. Right?
Yes.
So
I love that.
So that is the kickoff of this new season.
Yes. And it's a world premiere. We're super excited.
Yes.
You know, and we're blessed to have another world premiere open our season.
And you know what? This captures something about the Latino population.
Yes.
This is something that they, you know, because oftentimes if you don't see yourself, you don't think there's theater for you.
Yes.
You know, and that's the point that I want to make to people. It's, you know, any Latino or Asian person or Black person can play Shakespeare stuff. But when you have a play that is about your experience, that comes out of your culture, and, you know, I'm not suggesting that every play has to be representative of that. We want to see Shakespeare. We want to see, you know, all these, we want to see August Wilson. We want to see these plays.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think it's a wonderful, rich idea to see plays come out of people's lived cultural experiences,
and that's the beauty, given a chance.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. So that's one. So
All
that's one. And then backing it up in November around Thanksgiving, A Knight's Dream, an adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, adapted and directed by Shana Cooper on Stage 2, and that performance it kicks off November 25th. Opening night is December 2nd.
Yes.
Closing night is December 20th. So it's Shakespeare's classic comedy of midsummer magic and mayhem, and it gets radically reimagined in A Knight's Dream. It's the timeless tale of a hapless lovers, frolicking fairies, and merry mischief makers comes to vibrant new life with only 8 actors playing like a gazillion people.
Yes, yes. But it's something tasteful for the holidays, which is what I love.
I love it.
They're going to put on. Remember Pride and Prejudice?
Yes.
So
I'm telling you, I know a lot of people, I heard from Jacob that, you know, he got a lot of racist, mean-spirited emails about Pride and Prejudice.
Yes.
About people not understanding how these could be Black characters or whatever. Which is, you know, too bad. It's a play. You can put anybody in the play.
Open your mind. You got to expand.
But I must tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed that adaptation of that.
Yes, and it's what's in our backyard.
Yes.
I mean, we're all different. So why not put that on the stage?
I think the best thing for me was there's a little girl that was in the that saw the play, and for her, he will forever be her Mr. Darcy. Like her first introduction to that play and that story, and Mr. Darcy will be a Black man, a beautiful Black man. So from now on, when she sees other versions of this, the films, the and there are white people playing it, her Mr. Darcy will always be that tall, beautiful brother.
Yes.
Who she just
was given a chance.
Yes, who was given the chance. So I'm looking for my daughter, Margot, is a Shakespearean actress, a Shakespearean trained actress, right? She has done a lot of plays.
That's a lot of skill
with Shakespeare, and so I know she's looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it too, because I love people that can command this language, and I love that, you know, Shakespeare's like what, 500 years old or something. And people still want to reimagine these stories.
Yes, you want to reimagine the stories and the way these actors come to life on stage.
And I love the shape-shifting thing, because the way y'all did it in in Pride and Prejudice cracked me. I thought it was so witty. Like it was unbelievably witty.
Yes. I will say Pride and Prejudice was it was funny.
It was a romp. It was a real romp. I loved it. I loved everything about it. So anyway, Shana Cooper is going to be the director for this. For that piece. So I'm looking forward to see what she does.
Oh yeah, she does some amazing work from what Jacob has already told us. And so now we're blessed to have her. We're super excited, and I can't wait to see what she put on this stage.
Yes. And then the third thing,
All right.
The Elaborate Entrance of Chad Didi by Christoph Diaz in partnership with New Haven's Collective Consciousness Theater, which I must say is my favorite theater.
Yes.
It really is.
They are so amazing, and I'm so happy for this partnership, this collaboration. You know, some amazing stuff is going to be put on that stage from this show, I will say. You know, already the energy that we felt last night at our season announcement, you know, folks are excited. Folks want to see this.
Listen, to collaborate with two theaters coming together, I don't, that's no huge undertaking, because a lot has to, you know, egos have to be swallowed, and paths have to be made, and invitations and olive branches have to be extended, and authenticity and integrity has to show up, right? And so when I was talking to Dexter, he said to me, he's like, you know, Babz, when I met Jacob, I knew he was the real deal. See, because Jacob don't show up jive talking to you.
He don't talk.
You know, he don't come out of his mouth with saying one thing and do another. I mean, because, you know, if you've been in a struggle a long time running something, you can become jaded and shady.
Yes.
He has not got there.
Yes.
So to hear Dexter, who is, you know, all about the economic survival of his little theater.
Yes.
You know, talking to somebody else who is about the economic survival of a bigger theater, come together and say, listen, brother, let's do this. Let's pull this together.
Yes.
I find that in itself is an amazing story of
That's groundbreaking.
Yes, of where we are.
Yes.
And where we ought to be. Two men of color who are saying we could do this thing together.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to this.
Me too.
So this is so this story is what makes a hero. That's what professional wrestler Macedonio Guerrera is trying to figure out. He's sick of losing, and he's tired of Chad Didi, the arrogant champion fans can't get enough of. So when he decides to flip the script and fight for his rightful place next to the god of wrestling, he has to leave it all on the mat or risk getting knocked out for good. It's already thrilling. Like, it's like already.
Can you see a set? Can you see the set?
I can feel the tension. I can feel the tension already.
Yes.
You know, I love that kind of stuff. Like, you're on the edge of your seat. You're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like, I got to duke it out. What's going to happen? You know? So, so I think,
and who don't like a good little wrestler, you know?
I'm looking forward to it. So Christoph Diaz, this play was a Pulitzer Prize nominated work.
Yes.
So I'm looking. So it's satire. It's politics. It's got unspoken racism. It's got raw courage. It's got all kinds of stuff.
All kind of stuff. So I say talk to us all, right?
Yeah, so come to the theater.
Come on out and get your tickets.
Buckle up.
Yes. Subscriptions we're going to start taking them subscriptions.
Yes, people should get subscriptions. They make great Christmas presents.
And the season, the lineup, you don't want to miss it.
Listen, theater tickets make good presents. One size fits all.
Hey.
They don't put no weight on you.
Hey. And we're flexible. We're a flexible theater. We got one of the best box office teams out there.
Yes, you do.
They'll get you the best seats.
Yes,
They'll make sure you're feeling comfortable.
Yes.
And like I just said, we got new seats coming.
Yes.
So
I can't wait. I can't wait. So that is the elaborate entrance of Chad Didi is January 13th, 2021.
Yeah.
So opening night is January 20th. And closing night is February 7th, which is my brother's birthday.
The holiday.
I feel like this theater is all connected to me. And then the next thing, Queen, by Mahuri Shikar, directed by Anisha Kutaka, in partnership with the National Asian American Theater Company. Oh, I love that these forces are coming together in these collaborative efforts.
It's been a while. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Ooh. And I cannot wait. Just the way Jacob announced this show, Queen. If I felt it in the room, you know, I feel like the Strength Within Me brunch, you know, that's something that Queen talk. The Strength Within Me, I see Queen, and I see another brunch, you know.
Okay.
I see women, and I see us coming together.
There you go.
And the just what the show is about, period, is amazing.
Yes. Bees are disappearing around the world, and two scientists scientists, imagine scientists, because we in an administration that doesn't believe in science. So it's amazing that now we're going to have a play with actual scientists front and center.
Yes.
Set out to find out why. Queen is the high stakes drama about two best friends, a mathematician and a biologist, on the cusp of stunning revelations, and they have agriculture's most reviled boogeyman, Monsanto. Yes, Monsanto is bad business, baby, in their sights. But when all the right intentions become the wrong conclusions, their friendship is put to the ultimate test.
Hey.
A provocative portrayal of brilliant women confronting inconvenient truths. I'm looking forward to that. So, you've got women dynamic, you've got science, you've got another story within a story. So, yeah, this is going to be compelling theater.
Listen. And that's on stage too as well. Like I said, in that black box. So you're going to feel it, we'll feel together.
Yes. And then I'm excited because I saw Jelly's Last Jam on Broadway.
Yes.
Jelly. Yes. I'm looking forward to Jelly's Last Jam by George C. Wolfe.
Yes.
Music by Jelly Roll Morton and Luther Henderson. Lyrics by Susan Birkenhead. Directed by Patricia McGregor.
Yes.
And it's going to be in the Claire Toe stage in the C. Newton Shank 3 theater.
Yes, so we're ending our season.
With Jelly's Last Jam.
Our main stage, yes, with Jelly's Last Jam. And Jacob said it last night, so there will be a cast of 14. It's exciting. I would say
that's huge.
That's huge for Long Wharf. And it's time for us to come together. Let's dance. Let's have fun. Jelly's Last Jam is a fun show.
And jazz is my thing, so I'm looking forward to.
Yes, this community loves jazz.
Yes.
So I think this is one that folks will leave feeling like appreciated and that they belong.
Yes.
Which is what our message is.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And jazz jazz has its moments of being celebrated and then sort of falling by the wayside, falling by the wayside. So I love that we are celebrating jazz and the story. So this is great. Now the Good Person of New Haven, which freaked me out that it's 20 years old. Because I saw it the first time around. I saw it,
Okay.
And I just was thinking, oh, it was just a few years ago. And so when it said 20 years ago, I was freaked out by that, because I was like, has it really been 20 years since they presented the 20th anniversary of The Good Person of New Haven, adapted from the Brecht by Allison Carey and directed by Bill Rausch, co-founders of the Cornerstone Theater Company. Yes. The Good Person of New Haven was the final production of Long Wharf's 1999-2000 season and was created over 3 years in partnership with hundreds of New Haven residents. I remember it like
good.
I mean, I wasn't a kid. This is just 20 years ago.
Yes,
I remember it. So I just was like, oh my gosh.
And it's back.
And to revisit it 20 years, which I think people will be quite interested in seeing.
Yes.
I'm excited. I really do believe that people were, because at that time it was considered groundbreaking.
Yes.
So to see what it is now would be sort of exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2021 artistic programs and community partnerships. So y'all rolled that out too.
Yes. We have launched that out. There's a lot more. I mean, we have new board members. Whoop, whoop. We're thankful for you.
Whoop, whoop.
We have we're blessed. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
pleasure.
Thankful. I would say we have Diane Brown from Stetson Library.
Yes, who is a force of nature.
Yes, and we have Trinae McGee.
Who I have fallen in love with her from when I met her I met her a while ago at the Open Studios at the Rector Square, and I just fell in love with her. And I've been following her political career.
Yes.
And the story that she told when she was on the panel at the brunch.
At the Strength Within
Me brunch.
Yes.
How she came from her auntie was her aunt or her grandmother?
Her
grandmother.
Because it was International Women's Day.
Yes.
And the theme is generational equality. So she was speaking on her grandmother. Yes.
and how she stands on the shoulders of her grandmother being elected to this space, and I just was like, whoa.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And, and she inspires so many, you know, and we're so blessed to have you all. I would say Long Wharf is in a position now where we're for everyone, you know, and our board needs to reflect, you know.
Yes.
It needs to reflect.
And that's a big deal. And you know, when I hear boards lament, when I hear these nonprofit boards or any board lament, you know, how hard it is to find people of color, I you know, I have to side eye that, you know, because it's not hard. You just have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and tap into the existing community. You don't got to go create a new community. You just have to tap into the existing community.
And we're so thankful. You know, we're excited for this new season, as you can see.
Yes.
And I would say, we even have a new marketing director.
I know.
And we're so blessed.
I don't know how I got out of the room and didn't meet him. Because, you know, Azaria and I were talking about him because she had mentioned it to me before we stepped on air. And I was like, girl, I don't remember who he is.
Yes. King Kenny. He's an alumni from Howard University. He's amazing. He's a marketing director before. He's here now. And I would say what he's going to do in this community, we're excited. As I keep saying, because we are super excited and blessed. I would say he'll be here for the new season. You know, folks will be seeing him. He's awesome. I can't wait to work with him. He's done some amazing things for his communities and to come here to New Haven.
I will say this, New Haven has a knack for attracting talent. So hopefully we can get him to plant seeds.
Oh yes.
And he'll be in here for the ride.
Oh yes, we have to get you. I feel like you guys have to meet. So definitely.
Got to catch up with him. So the 2021 artistic programs and community partnerships include the State of the Union and Artistic Congress, calling all artists and art leaders in this election year. Let us gather in the Constitution State to talk about how we use our work as artists and storytellers to catalyze meaningful systemic change and help rebuild our democracy. So on September 16th and 17th, 2020, Long Wharf will host State of the Union and Artistic Congress, convening in partnership with other community organizations to activate a collective call to action. 2 days of programming will include speakers, roundtables, and community-led conversations where together we will mobilize so that the art and activism can live side by side. If that's not a New Haven incubated thing, I don't know what is. That is so necessary.
It's necessary.
Artists, right? Hand in hand with other folks who are you know, doing social justice work, who are doing legislative work, you know, who are doing educational work.
It's a revolution.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I would say what Jacob Padron is doing, what he's bringing here, is needed. We don't have enough, you know, and folks need a voice. We need to come together, and I'm so excited that it's more than one day, you know. Because it's gonna take more than a day, you know. I
to
will
cover
say
all
that.
this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then the Long Wharf Artistic Ensemble. Long Wharf is proud to announce the creation of an inaugural artistic ensemble composed of 8 New Haven and New York City-based artists. I was very intrigued by this because Dexter Singleton is one of these people.
Yes, he's a part of that.
Yes, and so the ensemble includes actor playwright Ryan Haddad. Mason Alexander Park.
Yes, who Justin, I Am My Own Wife.
Yes, who we enjoy. Bryce Pinkham, Madeline Syed, and Awoye Temple, Dexter Singleton. And so
remember, Awoye is from. Remember, we had Paradise Blue last season.
You know what? That's how I remember the. See, I love this is all connected. So I love that. I loved Paradise Blue too. I loved it.
That trilogy was amazing.
I thought it was so sultry. It was very sultry. I enjoyed that. So I love that somebody's, you know, that there's vision, that Jacob has vision to sort of bring this to fruition, because I think you know, artists, just like anybody else, ought to be in community with one another and be able to big think and big talk artistic expression and what that looks like moving into the future. So I'm very excited. The remix, A Lab for Artistic Collision.
Yes, so excited.
Yes.
This is when the community should get excited right here.
Yes. Because this is you're creating a space for local artists, new play development, and civic engagement at Long Wharf that will host a wide variety of musicians, scholars, cabaret artists, and more encouraging artistic partnership and co-creation.
Yeah.
And then the Stage Squad.
We're all about our kids. We're all about the youth. Because at the end of the day, it will be nothing if we don't pass it to the next generation and teach them something. So our Stage Squad, you know, is high school students. You know, they'll be learning. They'll do workshops. They'll be doing a lot with the theater. And then they get the exposure, which is what they need to open their minds.
Yes.
So,
and you know what? If you're interested in theater and you get to come and work at a theater and do projects in a theater, if that's your dream, that, you know, that the Long Wharf Theater makes this accessible. I mean, you know, they could not. I mean, they really could not. But it's a wonderful thing. So that's the lineup for the 2021 Long Wharf Theater season. Woo, Azaria, y'all got your work cut out for you.
We do, I will say, and look, we're ready. We're excited. Our website is up and running.
Oh, you know
our new website.
But you got some new people over there too, because I met a whole bunch of people. I met for the first time, I met some of the people who actually build the stages.
Yes.
And they invited me to come visit them, and I think I will.
Yes.
But you know, you got Dina over there. You've got. I met some young sisters at the door who were giving out those little great bags.
Yes.
Do you know them? What is it?
So we have Cheyenne Barboza. She's our front of house audience service manager. We have Dina Nicole. She was in the building taking our live feed for Facebook Live.
She did a great job.
She does all our marketing. Yes. She is our guru now.
She is.
And so we had our box office up there. We had everybody. And I would say there was Jessica. She's new to the box office, but she's learning some things. And so we got some exciting things.
Yes. And the young man that works with you in marketing.
Yes. You're speaking on Taylor
Yes,
Ibarro.
He's so cute.
And Taylor is actually our community partnership coordinator.
Okay.
And he is really trying to open doors and spaces for other folks. You know, we have now coming up our partnership with the Muslim Coalition. You know, that's new. That's not something that we've ever had before. So
wow.
I'm happy. And then this season also, we had a partnership with Yale China. Taylor did an amazing job with helping out with the Lunar Fest and making sure that Long Wharf actually tell the story of, you know, the Chinese lady in that community.
Yes.
Which is, again, it's coming up. Tickets are on sale.
Because I did not know the story.
Yes.
And I'm excited and interested in sort of sitting and having the experience of this story.
To learn the story.
Because I did not know the story, right? I just didn't know it. And
well, Afang Moy was a 14-year-old girl. She was brought here to the States here in America, and she was used on stage in a circus, I would say, but she was sold here. And so she stayed true to her culture and she told the Chinese culture. And so what we're doing on this stage and how our actor is beautiful. I can't say it enough. Folks need to see this show. If you have time, come in to the Long Wharf, get your tickets. Tickets are on sale. You can call our box office. If you're looking to bring a group, 8 or more, call me. I got 30% off on the tickets. You know, we have good stuff. So I'm excited. So thank you so much.
So all right. So you've got a dynamic new artistic director.
Yes.
You've got a team that makes the Long Wharf go.
Yes.
Front and back of the house. You've got a board that's ready for revolution. I really like this Laura Papano. I didn't know her prior to that, but there's some other people on the board that I know.
Yes. Our board members, I will say, I have to give a shout out to all our board members. Ping, Laura Papano, you know, they all, Pat Brett, they all have supported the theater in so many ways. And I would say folks see it. And I'm so thankful. We can't thank our board enough. And we're super excited to see what we can do next season.
And I can tell you, and I know Ann Shank because we used to go to church together.
Yes.
So, you know, you got An Ping, say? I think that's how you say that. Hasea, Asha Rangappa, Barbara Frank, Bev Hodgson, Bill Azotine, who I know because we are on the Planned Parenthood board together.
Nice.
Dr. Deborah Desir, who is my love. Deborah Schaefer, Diane Brown, my sister down over at the Stetson Library. Deborah Schaefer, Ellie Hurwitz, Gail Breck, Jackie Carl, Jenny Carrillo, Jerome Meyer, Jim Horwitz, Laura Papano, who is our chair and leader, Linda Calarco, Mark Simon, Melanie Ginter, Nancy Alexander, Pat Zandy, Patricia Brett, who I know, Pietrina Saxton, Ruby Melton, who I see all the time too. Ruby, she gets around that one.
Ruby's so supportive.
Oh man, she is
Even
everywhere.
Even if she come for a second, she's there.
She's there. Ruth Gitlin, Tony Celia, Waring Partridge, and me, Babz Rawls-Ivy, and Miss Trinae, and Belinda Chan.
Yes.
That's the board.
Woo, woo, woo.
So we are ready. And the energy in that room yesterday, people are ready for this new season. And listen, I'm not sugarcoating it. The Longworth Theater has some challenges. It's facing some real challenges.
Yes.
But I believe with the energy and the leadership and the commitment that we will rise above that challenge and meet whatever the goal is head on.
Well, if we want to see stories being shown of what's going on around us, we have to support. We have to come out. And I will say right now we're in a period where we need to support, and we hope that folks feel like they belong, because they truly we have opened our doors, and they are open. They're still open. They're gonna stay open.
Yes,
and
I think so.
Everyone belongs.
I think once you invite the community in the way that the invitation has been handed out last season and this season, I think it's gonna go a long way with building that bridge between the community and theater, and people feeling like this is theater that they can belong to.
This is a new time. This is a new Longworth.
Yes.
We got new leadership.
You know what? I like to say that it's going back to its roots, because this is really what it was started to be.
Yes.
And now it's just coming home. It's coming home to its roots. And I believe that we are now in a city that is ready to welcome its arts community in all its expression, right? Because I see Daniel over there at the Pride Center, the stuff that they're doing, and the relationship building between Longworth Theater and that community.
And our health department.
The health department. The Board of Ed and our schools and the legislative folks who are on board and who believe in the vision and the mission. So,
and our churches around here too. We have to remember that too. Yes.
So I'm looking forward to the 2021 season.
Thank you.
Azaria, thank you for coming on this morning to back up what we did last night. I mean, you are a high energy girl.
Thank you so much.
Oh Lord, you are high energy.
Love you so much. Thank you.
And shout out to your boyfriend, who does not work for the Longworth Theater. Demetrius is one of the best damn volunteers I have ever seen.
Demetrius Tyler.
Demetrius Tyler, you are one of the best. They should give you a Longworth Theater super volunteer cape. Because I'm telling you, I swear to God, I thought he was an intern. Every time I show up at the theater, he's there.
Yes, he's so supportive. So you gotta love him.
So Demetrius, you are the volunteer extraordinaire. Thank you very much. So thank you, Azaria, for coming and hanging out with me this morning.
Yes.
This is a good way to spend Thursday. I'm feeling the high of the 2021 Longworth Theater season. And
it's here to stay.
It's here to stay. So
hey, let's feel it.
So I need people to come to the theater, get your tickets.
Thank you.
And we're gonna do this thing. So all right, Harry, I'm gonna play us out. We ready to go? Thank you, Azaria.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you soon.
I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell them other niggas fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna let you fall away. Oh. I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. 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 When I'm up, I still ride for you. Only girl that I want is you. I ain't looking, but I still found you. Show you something other niggas can't do. Oh, got me feeling no way when they say you the same ain't in their head. So don't go away, I ain't gonna let you go away. I'ma keep you right here to myself. I ain't trying to show no one else. We can keep it on the low, but you can still let them other niggas know. Tell me why you playing with it. I'm just trying to tell you I ain't playing with it. Them other niggas lying with it. I'ma show you that I ain't the same with it. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell my lips in the fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna let you fall away. Oh, I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. 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 She said she got a new thing. The way she got me feeling got me dropping on my boo decks. I'm just tryna do that. Get you over here, I'ma show you what's a few things. She said she wanna roll, we can go anywhere that you wanna go. She said she wanna be next to me. Ain't no other place you rather be. Got me feeling up when I'm with you. Wanna feel you up when I'm with you. Feeling like a drive when I'm with you. Wonder where you are when I'm with you. And I ain't gonna lie, the way you got me feeling, I'ma take my time. And I ain't gonna lie, girl, you got me feeling your vibe. Oh, I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell my lips in fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna let you fall away. Oh, I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. I'm thinking about when we gon' touch.
She called me Big Daddy, Big Papa, Mr. Big Shot. Drop her off and treat it like a pit stop. OMG, ain't no guessing, I need big guap. Yanking in the club, check out the drip drop. Boss new, she go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that body, wine, y'all. Freaky, let's get it, won't love her. No kiki, still she bound to bust it open. Almost every time she see me, let me drown. It get wavy in your waters, yeah. You do it right, I just might call you back. She say it's better with no strings attached, yeah. Lil' shorty smart, she only speaking fact. I got the juice, I got the sauce, I got the swagger. You got some and I got some, but I know my is better. Yeah. I'm on the south side, little north, what's happening? I like bad who get 100 likes with no captions, yeah.
Awesome. She go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that body, wine, yo. I boss. She go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that body, wine, yo.
Pull up, wreck, we full, yeah. No hands, Lord. That dead. Lil' mama could work it. You know what you got.
Yeah.
We link up the slide, but don't forget the top. OMG, now make it bounce. She don't like to miss a beat. It gotta count. She just push it. You got it. Looking. Too much cake for my health. Yet I love when she cooking. Shorty colder than ice. You should see when she melt. You should lower the belt. Cassette in the mood. When she want it, she get it. There ain't nothing to prove. When she want it, she get it.
There ain't nothing to prove.
I got the juice, I got the sauce, I got the swagger. You got some and I got some, but I know my is better. I'm on the south side, little north, what's happening? I like bad who get 100 likes with no captions, yeah.
Boston, she go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that body, wine, yo. I Boston, she go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that body, wine, yo. Boston, she go to work, tip top. Love the way she move that
Hi, this is Aaliyah Swaby, and you're listening to WNHH-LP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from New Haven, Connecticut, and streaming live at www.newhavenindependent.org.
Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
You can ride your bike in the 12th annual Rock to Rock Bike Ride on Saturday, April 25th, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, while raising funds for more than 30 local environmental groups. You can ride across the city of New Haven or across the county in rides that are 5, 12, 20, 40, or 62 miles long. Experience the beauty of our parks, woods, and shoreline. Enjoy music and food at the Green Fair.
The most exciting stage show you ever went to see, appearing live. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh. Yes! Have you ever seen a show when fellas on the mic with 1 minute rhymes that don't come out right? They bite. They never write. That's not polite. Am I lying? No, you're quite right. Well, tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear, we swear, the best star rappers of the year. So, cheerio, yell, scream, bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
This is the show. And my name is Michelle Turner, and I have the good fortune of being its host.
Mhm.
In the studio with me are the folks who are behind the big conference, which is happening May 14th and 15th in West Haven, Connecticut. And in the chairs in front of the microphones are Quan Grant, Tawana
Hello.
Moore, and Timothy Anderson. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
us. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for coming and telling us all about your event.
Yes.
So, Quan, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Give me a little background on this.
Okay.
Why is it important that folks know about the big conference?
This is our conference. You know, I feel like this is New Haven's conference. And
Stay in front of the mic.
I think it's important that people know about the conference
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's a great time for us to come together and kind of unite and to build and empower our youth and our young adults. And that's what the big conference is about.
Why name it big?
Well, good question. We were planning and we just kept saying, oh, we want to do this big. We want to make it big. We was just like, why not call it the big conference?
Right.
And I think when you're doing anything with God, we serve a big God, right? Everything that God does, he does it big.
Yeah.
And I said, why not call it that? Because every conference we try to have like little themes. But
Mhm.
so the big conference is the overall, theme, but then we have other little themes every year. Like this year's Awaken. So yeah,
Okay.
I just wanted to do it big, and I don't want us as Christians to be afraid of doing things on a bigger scale. So yeah, I was inspired.
So is this sponsored by one church or is it several churches?
Mhm.
Who's coming together to do this to reach out to the youth?
Our church, High Praise Tabernacle of Faith, is, I guess you can say, the host church. And every year I would do this with the youth, and we would have it at our church. But again, the big theme, like I wanted to go beyond our four walls of our church.
Okay.
And I guess you could say our church is the hosting church, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But it's open to everyone. You know what I mean? It's not a High Praise thing. It's not a Quan, Tim, and Tawana thing. This is for us. You know what I mean? So,
And I also wanted to add to that being that we have the theme for big, we wanted to also keep in mind unity.
yeah.
Mhm.
And keeping in mind unity, we wanted to make sure we didn't, as Quan said, not to say, oh, high praise.
Mhm.
We wanted to make sure that everyone was included.
Right.
Like, for instance, if I may say that we tried to reach out to different people from other churches to actually join in with us. For
Yeah.
instance, Tim, he's not a member of our church, but he joined in on our vision
Mhm.
and he came in and said, you know what, I'll help because I am all for the theme.
Yeah.
And then also too, with praise and worship, we have praise and worship
Singers.
that are coming together that are
Yeah.
from other churches
Yeah.
because they are like, yes, we really like this theme.
Yeah.
That really fits into the scope of just not being within the four
Pull
walls.
that down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right now.
In
Now
business,
you can be
in
heard.
business now. So that just really fits into the scope of just because sometimes we can be like within the four walls of our specific church.
Yeah.
So this just essentially broadens the scale, opens it up to the entire community. To,
Yeah.
Definitely.
to have in on the worship, have in on working together, have in on some of the.
But now, what made you decide that this is something that you, Timothy, wanted to be a part of? Because you're not a member of the church. And somebody and so in hearing about it, what was the appeal for you, if you will?
I believe it was last year's conference. So
turn toward it.
Last year's conference, Quan and Tawana put together a really lovely event. I was taken away altogether by just the panel. They had a panel discussion. So for individuals who were who just had setbacks in their life and were able to articulate what their challenges were, and then how certain measures, certain personal measures they put in place, their faith, all kind of really just showed and encouraged not only the room but encouraged me to want to assist them in the next year's conference.
Awesome.
So how often do you
Tim.
do? Obviously, it sounds like you've been doing this at least a couple of years, right? The different conferences.
This is actually the 8th one.
Okay.
But I took a different approach to this one.
Why?
This one stands out because I felt like it required more. God was pushing me to do more. You know what I mean? And I hate to admit, but sometimes I would wait to the last minute. And as one of the youth leaders at the church, you know what I mean? They kind of expect this every May, and I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do this year? And sometimes I'll wait till March, and start planning something. And I was just like, nah, I gotta start early. We gotta do this right. If we want this to be of a level of excellence, we gotta properly plan, and So we strategically planned this. We came together and we just.
And what have been some of the themes from the past? Can you name a couple?
We like to hit on things like that are spiritual, but then we also like to hit on stuff that the everyday person are dealing with, like depression, suicide. That was stuff that we talked about last year. So yeah, we try to incorporate those things too in the conference, and that's what we've done.
And really, I'm quite a few years older than all of you. So,
you look great.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
But, when in my day, when I was a teenager, church conference meant you went in, you sat down,
right?
You might have raised your hand and talked a little bit,
right?
But you were talked to.
Ooh,
and
good.
it wasn't like you had any interaction or any participation in the planning or a program that was really meant for you.
Yes.
It's always like you're gonna usher, right? Because this is what you're gonna play the drums because you like to beat around on stuff. It was never like you're right. That's exactly how it was.
And so when I think of a youth conference, I'm like, ooh, because I've got all those memories. Like, I gotta go in and sit down and be fussed at about how God is not pleased with me. So,
wow,
what can you say, or what's the difference? Because
that's a good one.
It's a different generation, right?
Yeah.
This is a generation that, again, like me, didn't grow up listening to quartets or Mahalia Jackson or, and it was fire and brimstone. If you do this, you're going straight to the devil.
Right.
God is an awesome God, but God is also a punisher, as opposed to God being somebody of love.
Listen, that's what I've learned, and that's where I am now. Because sometimes you do things out of okay, I'm doing this out of fear.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I gotta go to church every day because this is what,
Right.
you know, how I was raised and da 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 da. But one thing I've learned over the past couple years is that God loves me just as I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm learning to enjoy my relationship with God.
Yes.
God doesn't punish me. He loves me when I'm acting right. He loves me when I'm doing things wrong. Right, exactly. Exactly. So, and it took me a while to understand that. You know what I mean? That his love for me never changes. And then that's what I wanted that message to be heard, and even within the big conference. And that's why one of our core values is love. You know, and to go back to what you were saying about the youth not really having a say. So what we wanted to do with this conference is show different sides of worship and expression, and give people the freedom to see, like, okay, everyone doesn't look like me. Everyone doesn't worship like me.
Right.
Everyone doesn't sing the way I sing. Everyone doesn't preach the same way I preach, you know? And just like, you know, letting people see that it's okay to be who you are, you know, and, you know, be yourself.
And bringing that to the table.
Absolutely.
Right, definitely. And I was also going to add, even in our last conference call that we did with the meeting, we brought up some of these different topics to say, what is it that we would want from a youth conference? And as you said, when you were young and you were going to these conferences, it's like them telling you, this is what you're going to do, this is what you have to do. But we want to make it known that it's important for your relationship to be a value to you and what God wants you to do with your relationship. Because sometimes we get so caught up in what our pastor says, like, you know, no, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you know. But again, we also wanted to bring back that love. Like, God is love. And, you know, when we come to God, he opens his arms like, I'm waiting for you. He's not saying, I'm coming to grab you, you have to serve me. No, he gives you that option.
That free will.
You either serve me or you don't. But, you know, we know the consequences. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure we just put that out there that, you know, God isn't a God of limits.
Right.
And that's another thing as far as the theme is concerned, is that we just wanted to show that God is not, he's not limited. And that's why we also wanted to say, like, you know, God is a big God. So you know what? That's how we need to serve him in a big way.
And
And
sometimes
then
we have
for
to,
the big conference.
Yes, definitely.
and then sometimes we have to take the limits off of ourselves.
That's
to
true.
realize-
That's
To
true.
realize exactly, you know, how big our God is.
Yeah, that's good.
So paint out a day at this conference. Tell me what it looks like. Give me an idea, because I saw the flyer. I'm not familiar with the pastors that are going to preach. So perhaps somebody can speak to that as well, and why you chose them. Because the piece is, it's one thing to get the young people there.
Yeah.
It's another thing to keep them engaged.
That's true. That's true. You said the speakers?
Yep.
Well, we have.
And why'd you choose them?
I chose Trinae McGee. She was recommended to me by a friend. And
is she from Connecticut?
She is from Connecticut. I think she's a West Haven Councilwoman.
Okay.
I think she also won Miss Connecticut. And just a beautiful
my
spirit.
bad. I don't know who she is. I need to step it up.
I haven't met her yet.
Uh-huh.
She's the one speaker that I haven't met, but I've been in communication with her via email and Facebook and stuff like that. And she's just a good spirit. I like her energy. She's a beautiful girl. And I think she can reach. We wanted someone for the women too, because so many times the conference looked like a men's conference every year.
Yes, it does.
So we need somebody that's strong, that's gonna be powerful enough to hold it down for the women.
Hold it down for the women.
So we reached out to her. I saw clips of her speaking, and she's just a powerful woman of God. We got David B. Wall, this a friend of mine from Vertical Church. I like his style of preaching. He's youthful and funny, and he knows his word. He's just a powerful man of God as well.
And he also was a speaker at another
previous
one of our
conference.
conferences that we had.
Okay.
Yep. So we're familiar with him. We haven't seen him in years, so it's gonna be great to hear him speak again. Then we got Levester. They're all just powerful speakers, you know, and I feel like they have a youthful energy and a style, and they're so different. David, I think is he's a Latin dude.
Yes.
Levester is black. We wanted some diversity.
Yeah, because that's important too.
Very
Definitely.
important. You know, and like we want this conference to look like heaven. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's a
Heaven
good one.
is
I like that
not
one.
like a black thing
Diverse,
only. You
yes.
know, I hate the word black church and white church. And,
Right.
you know, we're so separated by denominations. And
That's true.
you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's okay to be yourself. And that's what I told the speakers. Preach how you preach. If you're funny, if you're animated,
Yeah.
do
that,
it. Do you.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people need to know it's okay. Because a lot of times we're forced to be one way. Like we were saying, you know, growing up in the church, sometimes you're forced to, oh, you think you have to speak like this. You got to do this. You got to dress
Yeah.
like this. You got to
Yeah.
act like this. And it's just like, God is creative.
Definitely.
God is big. He's beautiful. He's, you know what I mean? There's so many different elements to God and we limit him.
But God didn't create a dead church.
That's right.
So
He sure
therefore,
did.
you know, sometimes ethnicity does have a little bit
Oh my
to do
God,
with the
Tim.
living in the
Were
dead
we not talking about
church.
that in the car, Tim? Right?
I mean, you know, and it's no offense to anyone, and that's not what I'm trying to do, and I'm leaving y'all off the hook on this.
She
This is
said
my, yeah, it's my experience that I have gone to other ethnicities' churches, and I've been like, oh,
Right.
this is
This
how
is how
y'all
you guys do it, right?
do
Right.
it.
Mhm.
Okay, this is a little different.
Right.
You know, whereas when I've had other people, you know, I had one person who was scared
Yeah.
because they had never experienced the Holy Spirit rolling through the
Right.
church, right?
Right.
So for them, they were like, oh, what is that? And
Right.
I'm like, it's the Holy Spirit.
Right.
That's what happens when it hits somebody. What do you mean hit? Did you see the person jump up?
Right.
They got hit with the Spirit. Lady Pat, yep, hit with the Spirit.
Right.
And this is a Baptist church? Yes, this is a Black Baptist church.
Right.
This is how we do things,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
And so I think, you know, I have a sister who's a minister, and she's very powerful. She's very humble.
Mm.
She would kill me if she even knew I was mentioning her at this
Oh, that's
point.
funny.
But as she has said, you know, the way that things are now, it's almost like there are no denominations.
Mm.
You come into a church and that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
about worship.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what
Definitely.
it's about. Living what we read about and what we hear and what we know to be true. You know, loving people, forgiving. That's a lifestyle. That's not a denomination.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Although I gotta have a choir.
You gotta have a choir.
Gotta have a choir.
Well, I listen.
Some
I love.
music.
I
We're
love a good
singers,
choir.
so we love a good choir, singers, praise and worship.
Yes,
We love all
definitely.
that. A good band, like I'm for all that.
So getting back to the conference.
Mhm.
So are you know, what's the program look like
Okay.
for the 2 days?
You did say that. So the first night, our opening night, Thursday, May 14th, at RVP Studios, 221 Bull Hill Lane.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep plugging that.
West
West
Haven,
Haven,
Connecticut.
Connecticut. The first night we
06516.
the first session is gonna be with the three speakers, Minister Trinae McGee
And it starts at what time?
at 7:00.
Okay.
Pastor David B. Wall from Vertical Church and Reverend Levester Jones Jr. from New Life, I believe he's from.
Mhm.
They're
The
gonna
modern day, what do they call it?
What?
Platform service.
Platform service, right?
Okay.
So it's gonna be three speakers that night, and we have a opening performance. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want everyone to know who's coming on what day because you know
Okay.
how we pick and choose. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on this night.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there will be an opening performance.
Open.
Local artists or
Local artists.
Okay.
Yep. And I really want to highlight our own. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I feel like
that's important.
We're powerful. You know, we got Connecticut have like great talent. You know what I mean? Awesome speakers, anointed people of God all over. So I really wanted to do this. Like I said, this is our conference. The second night starts at 6:00. We're going to have a discussion panel, and it's going to be about awakening your dreams because our theme is awakening.
Right.
And awakening can mean so many different things. But for that particular panel, we're going to talk about awakening your dreams, dreams that may be dormant, dreams you may have given up on.
Yes.
And we have just recently confirmed Adrian Jefferson from the Arts Council. We have Marisol Credo, who just launched a company for songwriters.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We have another musician, David Jamal, and he's a musician. He worked with a lot of great R&B artists, from Jasmine Sullivan to Diddy and Dirty Money. Did some, traveling and touring. And who else do we have?
Mary Ann Anello. And she's actually a friend of mine. Marisol is actually a friend of mine as well. Awesome women of God.
Yeah.
And again, as Quan said, we wanted to get some women empowerment on the panel.
Right.
But of course, we want to make it diverse as possible so that all of them could speak to someone that's, coming out to be a support.
Now, what's a platform service for those who don't know?
It's just speakers coming together, more than one speaker, coming together to speak on one topic, and they're like keynote speakers. So they have a certain amount of time, and they're gonna, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm a word person. I like substance. So I'm excited
definitely.
to see how they're gonna present the word of God and just their spin on Awaken. So we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But I know God is all in this, and it's gonna be powerful. So I'm excited. And on Friday night after the discussion panel. The second session is going to start at 7:00, just like the previous one. And our guest speaker will be Pastor Ryan Trawick from Promised Land. We can't leave him out. Powerful man of God, young pastor. And all of these speakers are young. So we wanted someone young that can reach the youth, you know what I mean? Speak to our young people.
Yeah.
And and we're going to have another opening performer that night too.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun. And I want to say this. I don't want to leave out the fun element of coming to church.
Yeah.
That's something else I wanted to highlight, because I was telling Tim in the car, sometimes it's like, put your hands together. Everything is like, this attitude is wrong. Like, you better give God praise. Yeah. It's okay to smile.
Right. And it's like, what if I don't? What if I don't feel it at that moment? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if I
Especially
get
with
a
young
few minutes to
people,
warm up or something?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with young people, because young people are like,
right.
Okay.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
You want to feel
I've been to
comfortable.
church on Sunday. Now I got to hear this on Friday about, how
constantly getting
difficult
drilled and yelled at.
and hard everything is.
Nah, we want people to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
the dress code is going to be relaxed. I'm coming from work, so I'm all suited up. But, jeans, like whatever you're comfortable. If you're comfortable in a suit, come in a suit.
Right.
But if you okay with wearing jeans and a t-shirt, like
wear that.
Then do it.
And it's important to make it natural.
Yeah.
As natural as as natural as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think so many times for young people, we put them in a box and we constrict them.
Yeah.
And they don't have the opportunity to really be themselves. Yeah. They sit there and they never, on the other side of that, they never have any fun because they're so restricted.
Right.
And so when you give them a little leeway, then it becomes something different.
Right.
Now, the age group of the youth, are you breaking it down into two sectors, or is it just from one age up, and why?
We really wanted to gear on like the millennials, the young adults. I would say maybe 16 to 21. It's
pretty much open to everyone, because we have our aunts and uncles and our grandparents and stuff like that who are going to be there too. So I believe that and just like we said with the word is for everybody. It's, I would say we really didn't put a age limit on it. Yeah,
but we just want to highlight. We're highlighting the youth, and the young adults, and we're letting them know we're here for you, because the big conference, we want to expand beyond this conference. We want to we talked about having mentorship programs and stuff like that that we want to open up to the community after the conference. So that will be more towards the age group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the outcome of this is mentorship, fellowship, if you will.
Yes.
Unity.
Okay. Because you keep talking about that. Why is that so important?
Listen, unity. Who want to go first?
I can say something. You've been talking. Personally, I think that it's just so important to be unified, because as Quan was saying earlier, we get in this mode where it's my church, we do this, we do that. But, we want to make sure people know let's show forth that the kingdom of God is about unity. You know, and being that it's about unity, it's not just about one church. It's about different churches coming together to serve that one God that we serve, so that, you know, we can get it accomplished, because it's kingdom work.
Yeah.
And kingdom work doesn't mean High Praise Tabernacle or the church down the street only, you know? So, and then also just, you know, I believe that when you are unified, it also brings forth love as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it lets people know that, you know, it's just not about me. It's about others as well. So definitely.
And also, anyone that's from New Haven, know every corner there's a church.
There is a church.
And then it's those little storefronts that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Aunt Sue got a church in
Yes.
started upstairs in her living room.
Where was that church at?
Yeah,
Like-
right.
Exactly.
So we, you know, very not often do we see like a lot of all these churches that's on the same street, every other corner, come together. You know, and that's what we wanted. You know, that's why I almost didn't even want to say my church. And I love my church. Shout out to High Praise Tabernacle of Faith, my Pastor Colin. I love them to death. But like, it got to be bigger than that. You know what I mean? And we got to be able to come together, because if we could come together, then we can attract more people that's outside of the church to come together.
Yeah, because it's a challenge now.
Yeah.
You see churches closing
Yes.
because young people aren't joining church.
Yeah.
They're not growing up with church.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
I have a good
Mhm.
friend whose church, one of my squad, their church just closed because not enough people to keep everything going.
Yeah.
You know, and that is going the way of no matter what faith, no matter what ethnicity. You know, you got a lot of older, you know, churches that were 100 years old, 150 years old, 175-year-old African American churches that are closing.
Yeah.
And the buildings have to be sold because they're in arrears, because they just don't have the support that they once did.
Yeah.
So is this sort of a call to that? Not only just to worship, but to not necessarily have a brick and mortar church, but to, how can I say, have church, if you will.
Yeah.
To get people in the frame of mind of church.
Yeah.
I think
I
think we're realizing that we are the church.
Right.
So I think that's why we may see some of those a lack of attendance at, you know, actual brick and mortar churches. So I think we're coming into tune with ourselves and realizing that we are the church. But it's magnificent when all churches can come together in one house. And I think that represents each individual person adding an element to the entire atmosphere. And that's something you can't get by yourself necessarily.
Absolutely.
Back to unity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
And church is necessary. I will say that. You know what I mean? It's in church where we, you know, where we we're able to draw from each other's strength. You know, we're able to, our faith, we have faith because we hear the word of God. So you hear everyone's testimonies. You know, you have people from different walks of life. So I think it's necessary. But like Tim was saying, we are the church, you know, and I think that's important that we embody that.
So how do you get that
lifestyle.
message out to young people? Because they're in the mode of learning about church, about God, about the Holy Spirit, about Jesus. How do you get them to the point to understand that it's in them?
I think it's with self-care. So that's one of the things we highlighted, where we will highlight.
Are you going to discuss that?
Yes, self-care, and then to take something tangible from the conference. So sometimes you can be overwhelmed and inspired sitting there, and then you go back home and you're in that same position you went before you got, you know, to the event or to the church or whatever. So we want to highlight just self-care, and we're going to put together a brochure, a big conference brochure for
will it have services, or, I mean, not in the respect that if you're depressed, you can call here, you know, or if you're thinking about this, here's a place that you can go, or things like that.
I think it would be important to do that, and to share, you know, what I guess each church I notice has just
the ministries,
different unique ministries. Exactly. So if and this is we're actively planning now. in that realm. But I think in this case, if we can show different churches and if you want to go here, you can, you can get this sort of guidance. You can go here, you can get that sort of guidance.
Yeah.
So I think also not only, putting it where you can go, but where you can go inwardly. So, taking a deep breath does wonders, drinking and eating, foods that nourish your body can do wonders.
Yeah.
So,
and then tell
that's
the
stuff
truth
we don't
with
get
that.
in church too.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely.
That type of information, and that's what we try to share.
Because, here I go. Baptist church, you give the food that I'm giving you,
Right.
and the apostles are like, huh? And, and as a little kid, you're like, huh?
Right.
There ain't no food here. What are you talking about? And so I think it's good, though, that we start to let young people know that it's okay to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And when things aren't necessarily positive, you don't have to take drastic measures.
Right.
You can go off, you can, eat, relax, do some things that will help your spirit, as opposed to, walking around being angry or being put in a church that doesn't allow you to express that anger or that sadness or even, address your mental health.
Yeah.
Because so many times, I remember when AIDS was a real, true crisis.
Yeah.
And Elsie Cofield went out into community and said, all right, nobody's going to the hospitals. The churches aren't. You should be ashamed of yourselves because you're not doing the work of the church by going in and seeing these people and taking care of the least of these.
Right. That's right.
And so I think when we, because you have to have a little history. Like I said, I'm a little old. So, there's different things that I remember.
Yeah.
But I think when you start to talk about self-care, we live in an age now where that is important.
Yeah.
Not only care of others, but
Listen,
self-care.
how can we care for others if we are jacked up?
Right.
Right.
That's
And we're
what I
not
was
taking
gonna
care
say.
of. And that's what we talked about last year on the panel. Self-care. It's okay to go to therapy.
Yes.
Some things you can't pray away. Some things you have to talk to, and or some people you have to talk to and get to the bottom, get to the root of the issue.
Right. Yeah.
Why does this trigger me? Why do I feel like I want to kill myself?
Yes.
Why do I not love myself? Why? And once we start tearing down those layers and getting to the core of who we are, that's where the real healing process starts. And that's something we're big on, self-care, all of us.
And it's powerful because the Bible says faith without works is
dead.
So you can have the faith for, getting
Right.
over whatever it is you have.
But you have to do some work.
But you have to do some
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think so many times, especially in the African American community, especially with African American women, we work, we run things, right? We run our house. We do stuff on the job. We take care of our husbands, our children, and then we're active in the church.
Yep. We
But
just
we're
neglect
not
ourselves.
taking that time to say,
To
okay,
care, to care for ourselves.
I need to step back a little bit, take care of myself, relax, let somebody else do something for once because
Say no.
we try to do
Say
and
no.
say
I
no,
can't
because
do
that's the
this.
big one.
No.
Right.
That's the big
No
one.
is
Listen.
a full sentence.
And it's
Right.
good, right? And I don't think enough young people understand the no.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I think with you all's generation, that's finally beginning to happen.
We're finally getting
Is
it.
just say,
Right.
nope, I'm not doing that.
Yep.
Right.
And
know,
it's
'cause-
okay.
And it's okay
And
to
it's
say
okay.
no.
And you're not
Yep.
mean. You're
Yep.
not,
You're
Right.
not
Exactly.
crazy. You're not
If
going to
it-
go to hell.
Right.
Nope.
Because God knows I heard enough of that.
Right.
Right.
And I'm like,
No, it's
really?
self-care.
Yeah. And that in itself is a mental health trigger, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're
Definitely.
thinking the way that I feel is not the way that God is going to accept me.
Right.
So how do I make myself the way that God is going to accept me?
Mm.
And instead of people, as I know when I was young, there was, you had to live by the 10 Commandments. You couldn't question anything. You go to Bible study or you go to Sunday school and it was always this, and this.
Yeah.
Instead of having that conversation, right?
Yeah.
And trying to have it make sense to you.
Yeah.
You know, instead of saying this is the Bible, this is the way it is, and this is what you're gonna learn. And you know,
I learned connecting with the word.
Yes.
Find how you can work that scripture into your right now life.
Yes. Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
that's important.
I was gonna also say something with that is that, like, even though you said, like, with the 10 commandments, we all obviously should continue to follow those commands, but also, you know, making sure that as leaders, we explain what that means.
And that's my point.
You know, we sit in church and it's like, do not kill, do not steal, do not do this, and you know, the different things. And it's like, you know, why shouldn't I do that? Or I mean, it might sound so basic, right? But at the same time, it's like when you're young and you're growing up, you want to make sure you understand why you shouldn't do certain things. Or if I do these other things, how is it going to help me?
Right.
You know, so
and that's true, and it's powerful because it's also part of our theme, awakening.
Yeah.
So just you know, broadening that spectrum and really you know, seeing and highlighting, you know, thou should not kill. You can just break that down into so many things. You can break it down to the food you eat. You know, If we eat chickens and you know, if we eat chicken, we're
don't get
Tim is the one that gets us in check.
Okay. So are you the vegan in the bunch? Okay.
But can you tell by the size difference?
Oh my God.
No. Tim he's very big on that. What you eat, and you have to be. You know what I mean? Especially in our culture. Tawana made some drastic lifestyle changes as well. Lost a bunch of weight, works out all the time. So I'm trying to get back up there because I did that like years ago, but I fell back off. But that's something we tried to highlight with the big conference as well. You know, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
God needs us well.
Yes.
He needs us alert. He needs us sharp. You know what I mean? There's no way that we're going to be effective if our mental is off. Right. And it could be because of what we're eating.
That's true.
Or if we're sluggish and we're tired.
Eating.
Right? Or what we're not
eating.
Right.
What we're not taking
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Or if we're, like we were saying, taking care of yourself, not saying no, overworking yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's no way we could be effective in that way. So
you can't give. You
can't give because you're all empty and
busted,
right?
Tired, and just
now you're like, oh Lord, this church, I gotta sing again, I gotta do this again, Bible study. Oh,
there's
Lord.
a young woman who is a grad student, I think in Washington, and my friend Babz, my squatty Babz, who has the morning show that runs weekly on WNHH, always talks about this woman's nap ministry.
Listen.
And you might want to Google it and talk to the young people about it.
I'm all for the naps.
Yeah, because you know, and she looks at it as the young woman looks at it as liberation, because for so long we were not allowed to sleep as a people. We had to work 24/7, right? And if you grew up like I did, you were up by a certain hour. You did certain things, and you weren't allowed to take a nap during the day because that meant you were lazy. You know, where do you sit? There's stuff to be done.
Yeah.
You know, and consequently, you're like, but I am beat.
Right.
Even as a young person, you recognize that. Yeah. So this young woman has blankets that are made for her by her sister. Her sister crochets. And she has a special mug that she drinks from. Oh, wow. And she makes it her business at certain times of the day during the week to take a nap. Right. And she says, you know, that in itself is liberation from the lifestyle that we have led for so long. Because for the simple fact that we were never allowed to sleep. Yeah. And over time, that has a wreck on your DNA, right? Because we're supposed to get X amount of hours of sleep.
So true.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's an awakening. Yeah. It's about looking at things differently and how you take in
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. How you take it in and how you use it, how you use the information.
Absolutely.
I definitely got to look up that now.
Yeah. Look it up. I can't remember the young woman's name, but it is out there. And she's probably been doing it, I want to say a year, maybe, you know, but definitely, you know, that might be something. Just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Maybe
she might want to bring to the young people.
Self-care.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
At the conference.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So what is it that you want people to bring away from this conference?
I want to say this. I went to Pastor John Gray's conference last year.
I listened to him Sunday. Boy,
I love
he
him.
had my house on fire. It was just
Right. Love Pastor Gray. Shout out to Pastor Gray and Aventer Gray. And they have the One Conference. And that's where I think I was inspired to do this big conference, even though I was doing conferences for 8 years previous to this, you know what I mean? But it was something about that one. I said, I have to bring this back home because they're out in South Carolina. South Carolina. And for them to be such a huge ministry, a big church, I felt a part of.
Yeah.
You know, and I know a lot of times in smaller churches, they'll teach you oh, you don't need to go to this big church and they ain't even gonna know your name and blah, 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 blah. And it's as Christians, we're always taught almost to fear doing things on a bigger level. Yeah. And it took me back to where I used to dream big like that. And I didn't even realize that I wasn't dreaming like that anymore. You get what I'm saying? So you become a product of your environment.
Right.
And then I went there. I was like, okay, it's okay to want to have a big ministry, to want to sing before millions of people, to want to have big cars. And they were still humble enough. You know, I didn't feel like people were looking at me funny or, they thought they were better than me. I felt so a part of, And even though it was a big church, people were saying hi. And I was like, we can do this in New Haven. We don't get it often, you know what I mean? But I was like, we got to break this spirit, off of the city. And I was just like, you know what? We're going to do the big conference and we're going to push unity. And so I was inspired by that. And what I want people to take away from this is get with us. You know what I mean? And let's do this together. Let's create change in our community together. Myself and Tawana and Tim, we can't do it by ourselves. And that's the beauty about this conference. I keep saying
it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Yes. It's free.
It's free.
Now, there is expenses. It's not free for us. You know what I mean? But we thank God for our sponsors. And that's why I keep saying it's our conference because the community came together and we're able to pay for certain things because we're doing it together. And that's how it is. If we want to have more stuff like this within our community, we keep coming together like this. We're going to always.
And last but not least,
get things like this done.
Who's doing the food? Who's doing the mac and cheese?
Well, the
that
food
needs to be no.
Right. The food. Y'all want to talk about the food at the pre-party? It's not going to be food throughout the conference. But we're doing a pre-party for the VIP, those who want to enjoy the conference VIP style, and that is available for $50. Via Cash App.
Okay.
So as far as food is concerned, we will have, Quan said, we'll have food at the pre-party just as a thank you to the VIP and also the participants of the big conference.
Yeah.
And, there's going to be music there and, we're going to do a little bit of dancing and stuff like that. We can dance. And we'll have a DJ, photographers and stuff like that to highlight, leading up to the big conference. And, we're going to have...
She said the food, though. What's on the menu?
I'm sorry. So,
the veggie meatballs.
Let's see. We're going to have vegan meatballs for those who don't eat meat. We'll have salad. And we'll have wings for the meat eaters. Okay. And I believe we'll have some type
Spanish
of
rice or something.
Ethnic rice or something like that. Okay. And of course there'll be some beverages and stuff. We'll keep it light.
Keep it light.
Please join us at the pre-party, the conference. You are more than welcome to be a part of everything that we do. Absolutely. We appreciate this. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Can I give the cash apps and
yes, give all of that because I was getting ready to say. So if somebody wants to attend, what is it that they need to do?
Again, it's free, but you definitely want to register at eventbrite.com.
Yes,
and search the big conference and select which night you plan on being there. Hopefully, both nights.
Yes.
And if you want to enjoy the conference VIP style, you want to go to our cash app. It's HBT Youth Ministry, and that's $50. And that includes a drawstring bag, T-shirt, reserve seating
at the conference.
Yeah.
And
the pre-party.
And the pre-party as well. And also to what's I gonna say? It was just right there.
Was it something about the
Oh, also, yes, the sponsorship. You still have an opportunity to be a partner.
Yeah.
Let's say a partner with us for the big conference. Our deadline is March 21st. For those of you who do want to be a sponsor, we greatly appreciate it. And you can also still use the same Cash App to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you do me the favor of sending me a flyer and
Absolutely.
I will read it for you over the air?
Thank you.
You're getting free publicity.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Our conference, our city.
Yes, please do that. And speaking of which, I have to shout out my squatty, Ife Michelle Gardine, who is holding the Elm City Lit Festival Saturday, April 25th, 2020 at Concat for Science Park in New Haven. If you'd like to register, then please go to phoenixdiaspora1@gmail.com. Okay. So this is a book festival and she's going to have authors and y'all just need to show up. Okay. Quan Grant, Tawana Moore, Timothy Anderson, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you being here. And we want the big conference to be big.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
You are listening to the show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. All you have to do is go to Facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. See you next week. Thank you, Harry. Everybody say thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Harry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting stage show you've ever seen. Appearing live tonight. It's Young, E, Fresh, and the Dick Fresh Crew. Is it real? 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 Real? Oh my God! This is called the show. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh. Yes! Have you ever seen a show with fellas on the mic with 1 minute rhymes that don't come out right? They bite. They never write. That's not polite. Am I lying? No, you're quite right. Well, tonight, on the Stirring Mic, you're about to hear, we swear, the best star rappers of the year. So, Sherry, yell, scream bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show. Your bally's on.
Yo, Rick, I was about to, but I need a shoe home.
Why?
Because the shoes always hurt my toe.
6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes to get fresh your own. 6 minutes to get fresh your own.
Here we go, come on, come on. Here we go, come on, come on. Yo, what's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know, they're late, told them the time. Oh, I forgot the day.
Man, you did it again. Oh, no. Here we go, here we go, here we go. No, we didn't.
What?
No, we didn't.
What?
No, we didn't.
Well, don't get us wrong. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie, fresh your own.
Natural and Barry in my right hand, man, Ricky D. I used to rap and sing, make sounds and things. And for example, here's the telephone ring. Hello? Is that your question? No, it's not it right now. But anyway, no more delay. Just check out the new style I display. Now you gotta be to rock with, and I'm D-O-U-G-I-E, and I'm known for the not for the human being, but for the entertainer. No other single can fit me playing. In a passing generation, I ever remain, and I'm also known as the beatbox trainer. Dash and check, make sound effects, and after I'm finished rocking, Slick Rick is on.
You know it.
Slick Rick.
Well, here's a little something that needs to be heard. Doug, I was going downtown. Word. All alone, no one to be with. Stepped on the D train at 205th. I saw a pretty girl. So I sat beside her. Then she went like she was Tony the Tiger. I said, hold on, there's been a mistake, honey. My name's Slick Rick, not Frosty Flakes.
Oh, golly Wally.
So she was raised in hell. She said, oh, my name is Maggie, but call me Michelle. Michelle, my little Sunday monkey, fun getting on some, getting on some. Slick Rick and I'll rock that house, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm on the mic, there won't be no delaying. Bust a move, we show and prove. Hey yo, Doug, do that record jam on the groove.